Hey, welcome to another episode of the Boat Mods by 10 Horse Monty YouTube channel. Today we're going to line the inside of this box. Now I cut a hatch in the bench seat to allow me access to my switch panel, and we've got foam in here. Let's look at this. So we got all this foam, and this stuff is really loose. It flakes off. If you touch it, it's gonna start popping off. The base is pretty good right here. This is a solid sheet. I'm not worried about it. We've got aluminum here, got aluminum on this side, and this is my back of my switch panel right here. So what I need to do is I'm gonna somehow seal this. I thought about spraying this with a sealer. I've got some really thin aluminum, like 1/16 of an inch or something. I've got it laying around. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut two pieces and just use some 90-degree brackets and connect them and make a little half box. So I've got aluminum on one side and then I've got a little aluminum floor. That way I can put stuff in there and I'm not worried about it getting wet and not worried about all that foam like chipping off onto the stuff. So I'm gonna grab my piece of aluminum and see what we can do. By the way, if you like these boat mod videos and my other fishing videos and fishing tips and all that stuff, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow. We appreciate your support. Let's get back to the video. Okay, I got my tape measure. I'm gonna get some measurements on the inside of this to see what kind of piece of aluminum, what size piece of aluminum I need to cut. Looks like 19 3/4 by 10 3/4. It's going to get me really close. So let's mark that on this aluminum, make a cut. Should have cleaned that aluminum off. It's pretty dirty. You need to make a long cut on a long piece of aluminum or wood. You can lay down some 2x4s and lay that material on top of that. It works pretty good. All right, I got my piece of aluminum laid out on these 2x4s. Got my jigsaw ready to go. Put on my safety glasses. Let's get to cutting. There we go. I'm gonna file this off a little bit. It's a little crooked, but it'll work. All right, I got my piece of aluminum in there. I had to actually shave down some of that foam that was inside of that hatch storage area, but I got it fit in there really good. It's really tight, so check that out. Got a nice little wall now. It's going to seal all that foam off. I have to worry about that foam coming into this compartment anymore. I don't even think I'm going to have to connect anything. It's so tight. I kind of wedged it in there perfectly. So now I'm gonna measure this area out. I'm gonna come all the way to the inside of the boat here, and we'll cover this whole area. There we go. Clean this up a little bit, see if it fits. Man, that was a bear to get in there. If I had to do it over again, and I was gonna use aluminum, I would cut it in 2 pieces because the floor was way too big for the hole. So I really had to bend it. I had to get a pry bar to get it in there, and I kind of messed the aluminum up a little bit, but I got it straightened back out for the most part. And this wasn't something that was gonna really be visible, so I wasn't too worried about it looking totally clean. It's gonna serve its purpose. If you're gonna do this, I would maybe check out some of that. It's like a plastic sheeting. I think it's a PVC sheeting. It's great for lining stuff. And I may use that in some other projects later. But I had this piece of aluminum laying around, and I wanted to save a little money and use it. And it worked out. It's functionable. So let's look and see what we've got down here. I'm actually gonna use these little supports to kind of cinch it down to the ground. Let's look here. That's what it looks like. Now, I didn't get a good cut, obviously. This side's a lot cleaner. I should have flipped it around and put this side up against here, but there's no way to get that back out of there. It's permanent now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these brackets and I'm gonna push this down and run some self-tapping screws in the side of this in both spots to keep it from jingling and bouncing around. And I think I should be good on that. I'm not too worried about this foam right here. This is still pretty hard foam, so I think it's going to be good. If it becomes a problem, I can just put a little strip of aluminum down there to cover it up. No big deal. Okay, I got all my little support brackets in there. Got it buttoned down. I think it turned out all right. Let's have a look. So I put 3 support brackets in there, and I put one back in this corner. If you can see that one back there, because this was kind of moving around a little bit. And I'm not too worried about this. I could put a little bit of silicone right in here around these edges, and it'll be just fine. So I'm fine with that. You know, let's put this hatch back on there and see what it looks like. All right, so now when we open the hatch out, here's what we got. Looks pretty clean, decent. Here's a little trick you can use if you need to pull something back out and you can't get through from the other side. Like for instance, when I started drilling into this aluminum wall, there was a gap on the foam and it pushed that thin piece of aluminum in, so it got kind of sideways. So what you can do is you can drill a screw into the sidewall and use the claw part of a hammer to kind of pull it out. Just don't drill the screw in. Don't screw it in flush. Leave a little gap in there so your claw can get in. I'll show you what I mean here. So I've got these screws that I use to pull this side back out, and you can just take this claw hammer and kind of pull. See how that's pulling out? That's a good way to straighten things back out. Just a little tip. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it gives you a few ideas of how to line the inside of a storage bin that you've installed an access hatch lid in. If I had to do it again, like I said earlier, I would probably use that plastic sheeting or just cut that aluminum in 2 pieces. But it turned out fine. That's all I needed, and it served its purpose. So if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to the channel and support me. And until next time.